Greetings, this is Tyra Olafemi, your goddess guru, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization, knowing the fullness of who and what you are, as well as self-mastery, which is mastering your gifts, your talents, and your lessons. And so what I want to talk about right in this particular video is inspired by a friend who said that she's been concerned about someone she loves. It just seems like nothing is going her friend's way, that she is really, just wishes she could do something. She knows what her friend needs to do, but the friend just doesn't do it, makes mistakes, and their life is a little bit challenging. And so it was inspired by me making a post saying, you can create the reality that you desire. We are not flesh and blood only. We are, but there are greater levels to ourselves. The physical part of us is the least. It's the smallest part of ourselves. It's the least of ourselves. The physical part of ourselves we have so that we can come here and experience this physical reality. If you don't have a body, and with the body comes the personality, the ego. It's a construct of this physical plane. If you don't have a body, you can't come here. The problem is that we don't come and receive proper education on what's real and what's not real, who we really are, self-realization. And so we come, and it is by design that we will largely start constructing a life. We'll largely buy into this identity. People call me Tyra. Some people call me Olafemi. Tyra is the name that my parents gave me at birth, and so for years I thought that's who I thought I was, Tyra. It's like I have this construct, and then we really start living this thing out, and then we get unhappy and we start trying to figure out, well, why am I not happy? What's going on? And so then we have to start learning the truth about who and what we are, and so because we're not taught properly, we end up creating sometimes things that we don't like, things that we don't want. But when you know that you really are consciousness in a body, that more than a spirit, you are vibration, you are energy. And energy and vibration and consciousness, even a spirit, it can take on any form. And so that's how we create the reality that we have. It's like the reality that we see before us is an extension from what we think about, what we feel about. It's just like we're just creating. And that's why it's so important to let go of what you think is true by testing it to see, do I want to keep this belief, this way of thinking, or do I want to let it go? And to continue to test your identity, to test this physical reality that all of us just really get tricked by, and we just go through all these iterations. And so we are, we create. But the thing that we have to remember is we can only create in our reality. We cannot create in someone else's reality. We can't add energy to the reality that they want. I'm one who believes in prayer. If someone asks me to say a prayer for them because they are wanting to manifest something, I will add, my life force, my Ashe is how it's said in Ifa. Ashe, my spiritual power that's within me that has the ability to create whatever. But if I think someone should do A and they think they should do B, I do not care how much I will for them to do A, how much I pray for them to do A, how much of my Ashe I give for them to do A. They're not going to do A unless they want to. You cannot create in any one else's reality. You just cannot do it. You can hold the vibration that this person will be able to open themselves up to more abundance, more peace, more love, more harmony. I can love someone as much as I want to. I cannot change them, but that doesn't mean I will not continue to hope and wish the best for them. And so if they decide to line up with whatever I'm hoping for them, it might help them, just really be able to rise up even more quickly, because now they have all these people surrounding them wishing all the very best for them. But if someone doesn't wish the best for themselves, they are not going to get the best for themselves. But that doesn't mean that anything is wrong. So we are not humans. We are consciousness that has inserted ourselves into a body. And so before we came into this physical realm, which was by choice, we weren't just dropped here. There are no coincidences. We don't just happen to come here. This is a big deal. I can't remember what it was, but I read something that said there's a lot of beings waiting to get a body. We can't all be here at the same time. And so it's by design that you are here. It's by design that all of us are here. And so we come into this physical realm to have experience, the magical nature of the physical realm. We come here to have expression. And so, it's purposeful, it's meaningful. I am one who subscribes to having other lifetimes, and so if you're in one lifetime and you create an imbalance, you've got to bring balance back to it. So sometimes we come in to get something balanced. We come in to, because if it's not about peace, love, and harmony, if it's not about, the middle path and that keeping it all balanced, bringing something better, and it gets out of kilter, out of balance, whether I am the victim or the one that victimizes, whether I did something bad or someone did something bad to me. We all come here at times to bring something back into balance. We come here to learn lessons. And for some people, the lesson will look ugly. For some people, the lesson will look ugly. But we have to remember that the truth is that we are not physical beings. I don't care what goes on in this physical realm. Our soul remains intact, because there's a part of us, the greater part of ourselves, that's not in this body, that is staying in connection with the greater divine consciousness, and is channeling in, power and wisdom, whether we listen to it or not. Channeling it in, trying to show us the way. You have yours, I have mine. And Nephi is called Ori. A lot of times you'll hear referred to as higher self. In the Christian tradition, you'll hear Holy Spirit. In the Hindu, in this Kush tradition, you'll hear Ganesha. It's that greater part of ourselves that each one of us has. I have mine, you have yours. We were given this. It's part of, our beingness. They're showing us what to do. That's our real identity. That's really what we're trying to remember. That's why we're here. That's why we're getting hurt at times. That's why we're experiencing bliss and wonderment at times. We're really here to remember our greater expansive selves. And so when we realize that's our true identity, whatever happens in this physical body, it almost becomes like it didn't happen. Because when you drop that physical body and go back into the non-physical realm, it's over. It's like being in a reality show. For those of us that are in the physical realm, we're watching reality TV. You go to the amusement park and you get in something that's like a spaceship to create that experience. You don't have to go out in space to experience weightlessness. They have these machines here on earth that can create that. Well, when we come up out of our body, it's going to be like that. That's what I'm told. And so we have to know that the life that we see of our loved ones, the ones that we care about, that looks bad, it's a purpose. It's purposeful. Some people have to sink very, very low in order for them to remember the truth of who and what they are. I've said often, drug addiction or addiction in general is a path to enlightenment. Because a lot of times, in order for someone to come out of an addiction, they really have to dig deep within themselves and connect to the power within to overcome and rise up over an addiction that most people think you're not going to get out of this. Abuse and self-abuse, when we allow ourselves to be in situations that are horrible. To the world, it looks so bad, but maybe that's the path I decided I needed to take in order to get to enlightenment, in order to get to self-realization. And this is why we cannot create in someone else's reality. We have to trust the divine, the God is in them to take care of them. I remember when I first started getting this lesson, I started thinking, what I think I can do for someone is nothing compared to what God can do for that person. And so it's just really important for us to trust the human experience, to only help when we are called to help, to think positive thoughts, to envision our loved ones having the best life possible, even when they're not yet making that choice. That's really all we can do when we're watching someone else living in a way that we think is horrible. Because the truth is, it could be worse. It could be so much worse. Okay? It could be so much better, but it could be so much worse. And so we just have to know that things aren't as bad as they seem. Even though it hurts for us to see our loved ones, those in human flesh, suffering. It is all purposeful. And what we want is for the person to learn the lesson very quickly. We don't want them to get out of learning the lesson. We don't want to save them from learning whatever it is they need to learn, whether it's stuck in their stumble, whether it's stuck in their mess, whether it's stuck in the pit of hell here on earth. We don't want them to miss the lesson. We want them to learn it. And so we don't want to wish them out of it. What we want is to wish them through it. Okay? And quickly. But if they're not moving quickly enough, in our opinion, that's their business. If they're not moving quickly enough, that's their path. And we don't have to like it, but the best thing we can do is to make sure that we are walking enlightened, is to make sure that we are growing and evolving spiritually, that we are understanding who we really are. Self-realization. That's the best thing we can do. If we really want to help somebody that we love, the best thing we can do is to work on ourselves. Because what ends up happening is you become an example and you become a light for others to look to and say, oh my gosh, if she did it, if he did it, I can too. Okay? So I just wanted to share that because a lot of us do struggle with watching people that we love looking like they're crumbling, and there's nothing we can do to change it. They have to want to change that themselves. So what we just have to keep being loving and enlightened beings ourselves. That's all we can do, because otherwise we're wasting our time. Okay. So this hopeful. Oh, if you are the one, I knew there was something else I wanted to say. If you are the one who people are losing sleep over, if you are the one who is the loved one that looks like they're living a life that is, well, hell here on earth, then maybe, just maybe, you can take the concern of your loved one, the true, genuine concern of your loved one, as a source of strength for you to pick yourself up, because guess what? No one's going to do it for you. Someone might assist you, but baby, you're not going to get up until you stand up. Okay? And when people care about you, that's the best time. Even though when you think you can't do it, that love that that person has for you can be the very thing that you stand on and that you lean on until you can stand on your own. Okay? So, you can do it. This is Tara Olufemi, your goddess guru. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. If you would like personal divination with me, just look at the link in the comment section or the about section of this video to learn about the different readings that I do. I also do my best to put out yearly readings, weekly readings, and just inspirational videos. So you can subscribe to my channel to stay abreast of the videos that I'm sharing. If there's a topic in particular that you would like me to address or take to the Oracle to address in a general way, just send me a message and I will be more than happy to do so. I wish you a wonderful day of self-love, of harmony, and peace. Thank you so much. Goddess blessings.